So after long last, here's the second installment of my Sims Family Tree series. If you haven't seen episode 1, which is based on my SimSelves family tree, I recommend checking out that video first. To avoid a 2-minute preamble going over the 13 original siblings in every video, I've linked a blog post below that goes into generation 1 and 2 if you'd like to have a look at that. This video is episode 2, which is focused on the branch of my Sims family tree that starts with the Sim version of my real life brother. I don't use the names of my real life family members for the sake of privacy, so I'm just going to be using initials. You'll see how that is going to get very exhausting in this video in particular. Before we get started, I just wanted to give a bit of a disclaimer. I play The Sims 2 on a Windows Vista computer that I got over 12 years ago, and it has no internet. I haven't been able to get a screen recorder to work, so I'm pretty limited on how I can share images and video of my game. A lot of people message me asking to see my actual in-game family tree, so I use that as a starting point this time around. However, my game has so many super fun glitches. One of these glitches is that images of the Sims warp or disappear entirely, so you'll see how I had to improvise. Also, last thing, whenever I say family sim, it just means Sims that were born into my Sims family somewhere along the lines, and it's not referring to having the family aspiration. Anyway, thank you for choosing to watch this video, and I hope that you enjoy it. GM the second married Heather Huffington from Sims 2 University, and they had 4 kids, Sahara, GM the third, and twins Amy Rose and Sonic. The oldest of GM's 4 children is named Sahara because that was always my real life brother GM's favorite name for a girl. Sahara married Tucker Barr, a townie from the University expansion pack, and they had 1 daughter named Savannah. Sahara and Savannah are both track names off of Reliant K's 2009 album Forget and Not Slow Down. I thought that was kind of cool, so that's how Savannah got her name, and then the naming theme for that family line became song titles. GM the third married Renee Desperate and had 1 kid named GM the fourth. Renee was a teen townie that I aged up to go to university. The naming theme for this family line is it's pretty obvious. You've probably figured it out. Amy Rose and her twin brother Sonic are named after Sonic the Hedgehog and his gal pal Amy Rose. Amy Rose married Zaytrario Thorn, and I thought that was so perfect, so meant to be, because you know every rose has its thorn, right? So good. Zaytrario was a townie from Sims 2 University, and he and Amy Rose had twin boys named Tallow and Flax. Because of the whole rose and thorn situation, I went with the naming theme of flowers and plants. Sonic married Sarah Love from the University expansion pack and had twins, a girl named Mercedes and a boy named Bentley. They're named after cars because, like Sonic the Hedgehog, cars go fast. Sahara and Tucker Barr's daughter Savannah married Jacob Martin. Jacob Martin is from Sims 2 Seasons. In the game, he lives with his dad, who is a single father, so I married the dad, Andrew Martin, to Bianca Monti, and they had 5 more kids. 3 of those kids were also married into my Sims family, so you'll see them again at some point, just not Angelo, who died. Anyway, Savannah and Jacob had a set of twins following the naming theme of song titles, so the boy Billy is named after Billy S. by Sky Sweetnam, which is the song solely responsible for getting me up every morning in high school, and also very ironic considering what I studied in university and ultimately got my degree in. Billy's sister is named after the song Vienna by The Fray. Renee Desperate and GM the third's son, GM the fourth, married Francisca Martin. Francisca is one of Jacob Martin's younger half-siblings, so that means she married the cousin of her half-brother's wife. Francisca is named after Francisca Pantalone, her great-grandmother on her mom's side. GM the fourth and Francisca have a son named GM the fifth. Amy Rose and Zatrario Thorne's son, Tallow, married Jen Masterson. Jen was actually a downloadable sim that was available on the Sims 2 website. Since she came with the name Jen and had red hair, I gave her the last name Masterson after Jen Masterson from 16, which was one of the best shows ever. Kind of going off Jen's name, I made the naming theme characters from Canadian cartoons. So Tallow and Jen's twins are named after Jonesy from 16 and Clover from Totally Spies. Tallow's twin brother, Flax, married Brittany Upsnot. Brittany is from Sim State University and happens to start the game in a sorority with Heather Huffington. So Brittany married her sorority sister's grandson, because that's the thing you can do in this game. Flax and Brittany continued the flower naming theme, and their daughter is named Azalea. One of Sonic and Sarah's twins, their daughter Mercedes, married Castronova, who is from the fraternity in Sim State University. When the game first starts, both Brittany Upsnot and Heather Huffington have crushes on him, so there's that. Mercedes and Castor's daughter is the start of a new naming theme, characters from the Gone series by Michael Grant, and her name is Dara. Mercedes' twin brother Bentley is married to Beatrice Monty, a sim from Veronaville. Bentley and Beatrice have a daughter named Katharina, who is named after her maternal great-great-grandmother. Fun fact, Katharina Amantes is named after Katharina from Shakespeare's The Taming of the Shrew, which is what inspired 10 Things I Hate About You and the main character Kat. So my Katharina sim is kind of named after Kat from 10 Things I Hate About You, but not really. Veronaville, with the Caps and the Montes and the family histories and everything being based on Shakespeare, is just the best. Savannah and Jacob's son, Billy, married Kimberly Picasso. She's the daughter of Matthew and Jessica Picasso from the Hobbies expansion pack. Billy and Kimberly started a new naming theme after Once Upon a Time characters, and their son is named Jefferson. Billy's twin sister, Vienna, married John James. John is another family sim, and he's from the family line that will be in episode 3. He comes from a naming theme of Taylor Swift songs. I felt like merging those two naming themes was an excellent decision. Vienna and John continued the Taylor Swift song naming theme, and so their son is named Timothy after the song Tim McGraw. GM the 5th married Mary Grunt. Mary is, brace yourself, the daughter of General Buzz Grunt and Diane Burb, who is the daughter of John and Jennifer Burb. Very confusing, I know. Mary is named after Mary Mellons, who is her paternal great-grandmother. GM the 5th and Mary have a son named GM the 6th. Flax and Brittany's daughter Azalea married Samson Lothario. Samson is another family sim, and he and Azalea continue the flower naming theme by naming their daughter Lilac. Tallow and Jen's son Jonesy married Kara Monty, a family sim from a superhero-inspired naming theme, and they named their daughter Diana. Jonesy's twin sister Clover married Slade Cook, a family sim who comes from the family line where my mom in real life picks the names, so she named their son Tanner, but I could not tell you why. Mercedes and Castor's daughter Dara married Winter Dreamer. Clearly it was all the rage to be marrying family sim members to each other back in Generation 5. Dara and Winter continued the Gone series naming theme, and their daughter is named Astrid. Bentley and Beatrice's daughter, Katharina, married Orion Contrary, a family sim from a naming theme where all the names are based on mythological figures. Katharina and Orion's daughter is named Ariadne. Billy and Kimberly's son, Jefferson, married Alara Grunt, who comes from an outer space-inspired naming theme. Jefferson and Alara's son is named Saros. Timothy, who is Vienna and John's son, married Melody Camilla, and this is the timestamp where you can go find their story in episode 1. GM the 6th married Jill Smith, who is practically Strange Town royalty, and they had a son who, you guessed it, is named GM the 7th. Azalea and Samson's daughter Lilac married Forrest Mace, a family sim who comes from a naming theme of all nature-inspired names. I merged the naming themes, so Lilac and Forrest's daughter is named Zinnia. If you watched my first Sims video about how I organized my Sims family, you might remember me mentioning these guys. Jonesy and Kara's daughter Diana married Bryant Weir, one of the 4 children of Connor Weir and Samantha Cordial. Diana and Bryant continued the superhero naming theme, and their son's name is Peter. Clover and Slade's son Tanner married Harlow Roth, and this is the timestamp to where you can go back to episode 1 and find out what happens next. Dara and Winter's daughter Astrid married Lennox Gavigan, another sim from my very expensive family tree, and they continued the Gone series naming theme by naming their son Bowie. Katharina and Orion's daughter Ariadne married Kenneth Carlson, who's a townie. I put a twist on the mythological naming theme by changing it to Greek names, so Ariadne and Kenneth's son is named Basil. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this look at my Sims family tree. I'll include links to blog posts and other videos about my Sims 2 family down below if you'd like to check that out. In this video, I didn't provide as much information on each sim, but tried to focus on names and pictures instead, so it wasn't as confusing and overwhelming. If you have any feedback on this style of video, or what information you do like to know about the individual sims, please let me know. Otherwise, that's it for this video. Thank you so much if you choose to subscribe to my channel or for supporting me in any way that you do. My social media is all linked below if you're interested in checking that out. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you have an awesome day.